Hello, I'm TJ, and this is my creative critical reflection for Nova by me, of course. Right? So, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? Okay, so in my film, it was a sci-fi based film, right? So we had inspirations from Star Wars and Back to the Future, and like I guess Naruto, you can say it, like in a sense, right? And we went for like the more prisoner kind of convention, right? The stereotypes, the whole outfits where we use mise-en-scène to make his outfit very prisoner-like, the black and white. Now, even though in other like movies or like universes, prisoners are portrayed in different ways. They can be orange, they can be blue. We chose to go with the basic black and white, to have some, I don't know, some continuity with like what we were doing kind of here, right? So now for the time travelers like concepts, right? We took inspiration from Back to the Future, like I said, and in our like film, our guy is a time traveler, and he's traveling like well, he's traveled over like past timelines, future timelines, to kind of get what he wants, right? And along the way, he gets caught like doing something he shouldn't have done. Now, y'all don't know what he does, right? But it's alluded to in the show or in our like opening that he's done a bad thing. That's why he's in prison, right? And we use dramatic lighting to kind of like show that like he's a very like dark person, kind of like sketchy, or that he's kind of what's the word very he's a troubled person, right? That's why we use a very dark lighting on the face, right? And now where the reference for Naruto comes from is that we use flashbacks to kind of show that this character really like has like some like a deep trauma about him, right? And he's like gone through like many things, right? Now on to the next question in our how does production engage and follow our audience, right? And how we're going to distribute it. We would distribute it using, of course, the mainstream sites like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, Prime, whatnot, right? You see the picture in the bottom left, right? And we were thinking about, CDs, but obviously, they're out of date, right? So then we got to thinking again, we can port it to, a video game, right? Because genres like these always have like a video game to them, these sci-fi, time travel shows kind of or movies always have a game like Star Wars, right? And how we engage your audience, we use dramatic lighting, like I said, to really like, damn, like it's really polarizing, right? And we use the CGI, like in the Matrix, like you see. And now, as for like our like engagement, again, we use a lots of setup, right? Now we've like we gone through trial and error, way with our setup, right? With our how do we like make his face, look very dark and like I don't know, gloomy, or like how do we make him seem like he's kind of like the villain, right? But even he might be not be the villain, but we're portraying him as the villain, right? And we're of course going to distribute that towards the teen genre because teens really love this stuff, right? As we showed on our research, right? Now, how do our skills develop in the project? Now, our camera skills really did develop in this project, especially mine, since I was like leading the way for photography, right? And our editing skills, Evan did our editing skills. He was kind of like our head guy, right? And I really learned to kind of step up and be like, this is what we should do, right? You really voice my ideas out there, right? And some trials we had to overcome were the blender crashes. Like Evan's blender crashed all the time. It was really frustrating for him. Just watching him was kind of sad, but he got through it. We got through it. It was really good, right? And especially my skills on tracking, they developed immensely, right? And how did I integrate technologies and software to the project? So, like I said, we use Blender. We use like CGI from the Blender. We use Premiere Pro and After Effects, especially Google for our research kind of thing, right? And you see here, Evan made this thing in Blender, right? In Photoshop too, right? Bottom right. This is our time traveler in a capsule. He's being kept there, right? Until he's eventually released into the prison, right? And I think that's like really interesting how we did it, the backgrounds, the whole like nothing looks out of it looks all very normal and seamless, right? And I know like we like tried really hard on this part of the project, right? But like Google is also a very big help. People don't talk about Google, but it definitely does help because without Google, we wouldn't be able to find out how to do like all the stuff we did, which is really interesting. But yeah, that is my critical reflection.